Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. So we are on chapter 11 and today we are going to do verse 3 and just the English translation of verse 2, so we have a connection. Arjun is talking to Krishna Bhagwan and he told him in verse 2, the origin and destruction of being verily have been heard by me in detail from you. O lotus-eyed Krishna, he called him Kamal Patraksha, and also your inexhaustible greatness. So he's just reviewing with Lord Krishna what he has heard and all that. And he's having a little devotion in his heart, is building up much more stronger now. All those things are happening. And as we discussed that he is creating a background because he wants to see that, he wants to have the Vishwarup Darshan, but he's just telling Krishna Bhagwan that whatever you have told me, I do believe in it, I understood it, and all those things. So we discussed all that. So here is a verse, next verse, verse 3. Evam etat yatha tattvam atmanam parameshvara drishtumichhami te rupam aishwaram purushottama. Evam is thus, etat this, yatha as, atha is has declared or described, tvam is thou, atmanam yourself, parameshwar, we have heard this word and we will analyze what it is. O Supreme Lord, drushtum, drishti se aaya hai, to see, ichhami, desire, ichha, te is your, rupam, your form, aapka roop kind of, Aishwaram, Roop kaisa? Was Aishwarya wala, sovereign. Purushottam, we have heard this word also for Bhagwan. O Supreme Purusha. So those are the word meanings. So here, Evam Etat, it sounds so simple, right? Like we said that Bhagavad Gita is like a subtle subject. So every few words have a lot of deep meaning in it. So Evam Etat Yatha Tattvam has a lot of deep meaning. Basically, he's saying that whatever you, as you have said, your glories, and taught by you, whatever, and this is a chapter 11 now, so up to chapter 10, whatever, everything comes under that. And mainly he was focusing on that, hey, about the dissolution and creation, because everybody is curious about that. When we go to our Upanishad, you will see in the Swamiji's commentary that, you know, all of them want to know how this world came about and how it dissolves, how it comes back again. All that, whatever Bhagwan taught him, he said, Evam etat. It is sab sahi hai. Jaise Hindi mein bolte hai na, I agree with everything. Uske doubts abhi khatam ho rahe hain. And then also he's saying that I understand it also, because that's also a very important part. Sahi hai bola to, that's one aspect, but I understand it, that's another aspect. So this Evam etad mein sab kuch aa jata hai, like that. And then we should not forget all the things that he said in chapter 10. You know, different 54 glories. All among the luminaries, I'm the sun. Among all the rivers, I'm Ganga, everything. Whole manifested form he's talking about. And so from Bhagwan, this whole world has come into existence and dissolves in him. So his statement is, I accept everything that you have declared about yourself. That's what it is. So, and then here, Arjun addresses Krishna Bhagwan as two different adjectives he gives. Aishwaram and Purushottama. So those are, we will analyze those things also. But Nikhilanandji had some interesting thing to say, because he always comes up with great examples. So he's saying that so far when you saw in chapter 1, when Arjun was talking to Krishna Bhagwan, he was thinking Krishna Bhagwan is his friend. He's trying to argue. He doesn't even want to listen to Krishna Bhagwan. He just keeps talking himself. And then slowly things are changing. And now suddenly there's a huge shift in his mind, right? We talked about that. So he gave a worldly example. I thought that was a really good one. He's saying that these days, you see somebody talking on the phone. Maybe they're talking to their friend, okay? And then, arey yaar, ye hai, wo hai, kuch bhi, whichever way friends we talk. And then suddenly, some other call comes and his tone completely changes. Boss is calling or something. So, yes, sir, I'll be there. Like suddenly the tone changes, So I thought that was such a great example he gave. So the same way, here Arjun's tone has changed, and now he's like, oh, you are Bhagwan, you are this, all that. So I thought that was great. So humility is coming out. Reverence, humility, all those things are coming out. So he's speaking to Krishna not as an ordinary person anymore. So that's what we have to remember. Sakshat Parmeshwara, he calls him, in that form, And then also he said that the second part of this verse, he's saying, I have this desire now. Drushtum ichhami. I want to see, So what does he want to see? Aishwarya Rupam. Because firstly, he told all the glories, and if you remember, in the last part of chapter 10, he said, "Main kahan tak bataun, the whole world exists in me, just in a little part of me." That is like Aishwarya, That's what he wants to see. So whatever Bhagwan had mentioned, that the world exists in me, that's the part he really wants to see. And then Nikhilanandji was talking about that how the Upanishads and all the Vedas and all, also Purush Suktam. Remember I was telling you about Purush Suktam, where, Bhagwan, this particular concept is mentioned many different places, that this whole universe is a little glory of Bhagwan only. And that's why Arjun wants to see himself with his own eyes. And then, so, very simple example in the worldly thing, that when you see an iceberg, they say that you see only like few percentage on the floating on the top. Niche bahut bada wo hai, we know about Titanic and all that, how that's why they didn't even see and it crashed. Anyway, that you just see the tip. So the same way, what we see, the universe is just the tip. He wants to see the Aishwaryam. वो टिप भी कोई दिखा दे तो वो धन्य हो जाए, right? So that's what it is. So here basically he's saying, okay, अब मैंने सब कुछ सुन लिया है, सब कुछ समझ लिया है, and now I want to see what you have described. Direct experience, he's asking. So Nikhilanandji gave another very great example. He's saying that suppose somebody, you have never been to their house, and they bought this new fantastic house, and now they are describing, मेरा घर ऐसा है, वैसा है, and all that. अच्छा, अभी बहुत कुछ सुन लिया, मैं जाके देखना चाहता हूँ क्या है अपनी आंखों से, या कोई जगह, their friends come back from some exotic place and they will say, oh, you have to visit that place, it's so beautiful, blah. And the more they say, the more the desire comes in us. I want to go there, but I want to see with my own eyes. I don't want to keep hearing about it, So I thought that was a very great example he gave about that. And then when he calls him Purushottama, He Purush Uttam, the best among all beings, greatest being. So, he, uski bhakti aise jaag rahi hai andar, or deeper hoti ja rahi hai, And then, so that's what it is. And then the last part, it's like not said over here, but the way he will ask more in verse 4. So we have to understand his psychology. So abhi usne ye pooch liya ki mere ko dikhao, right? Suddenly he felt, did I ask too much? Is it really possible? So he has to, usko laga ki even though he was very humble, he still felt like maybe he doesn't deserve it. Maybe it's not possible what I am asking. I'll tell you, sometime in the world it happens. Somebody says, aisa hota hai. So then don't we say, acha dikhao to janu. I'm not going to believe you. Don't we say that? बहुत बड़ी बातें कर ली, अब दिखाओ मुझे पहले, फिर मैं मानूंगी. Something like that comes in his heart. Okay, so then we will go to the next one. Some hesitation comes in his heart, but there were a few other kind of other points in there that I wanted to mention. So what it is some analysis about it, that so far there was an intellectual acceptance by Arjuna, right? But that's not enough. It's same thing for us. Just by talking, we know he wants a direct vision, darshan, Krishna's cosmic group. So that's one point that it is. And then the other thing is that by addressing Krishna as a Parameshwara and a Purushottama, he acknowledges that Bhagwan is transcendental supremacy of his. Those are the two words, beyond all beings and all that. That's another thing. And then this is like they say, the transition point from philosophy or teachings of Lord Krishna to the revelation of his universal form. So these couple of verses, has this transition part in it. And then, another way we can look at this is we have heard about Shravanam, Mananam, Nidhi Dhyasan, right? So he moves from Shravanam, he wants the Nidhi Dhyasan, direct vision, experience, So this is what it is. So basically he has accepted Krishna's teaching and he is demanding an immediate experiential confirmation. I want to experience this. That's what he's doing. And a few other things. And then one of the saints said that his desire to see was not just curiosity only. Because kabhi log bolte na, they just want an intellectual curiosity. That's not what it was. He wants to establish in that knowledge. And this is almost like the last step when all the doubts are gone and you are just, like when we talked about Sthita Prajna in chapter 2. Sthita Prajna's Lakshan kya hai? Lot of us know a lot about God, but we are not completely established yet, right? So this is what he's demanding. He wants to really, he feels like, this is, abhi maine bahut suna, I want to get established in that knowledge so that he can now act. Once you establish in that knowledge, then you will act correctly. Remember, he was having confusion about his duties and all that. Then he knows he's not going to have any confusion once he's established. So it's not, and then the other part is, he also knows that he cannot understand this Bhagwan's roop with just ordinary eyes. You need the Divya Netra, and with normal sense perception, he won't be able to grab it. And so that's why this is building up. And so because why? It's a Roop Ashwaryam. He's saying the word that he used, Rupam Ashwaryam. It is a manifestation of divine power of Bhagwan, not ordinary body form. So that's what we have to think about. And Shankaracharyaji's some comments I thought were interesting, that he says that he wants to see direct perception. It's the same thing, but they use different language, that's all, And one important point over here is that direct perception is possible only with divine grace. No form of study, no form of karma. You can keep doing that more and more and more. If divine grace doesn't come, it's not going to happen, And what that divine grace actually, according to Shankaracharya, is removal of that veiling of ignorance. The ignorance se jo parda pad gaya hai hamari buddhi ke upar, it's a removing of that ignorance. That's what he's talking about. And also, this particular form is a sagun form. He's seeing the sagun form of it. And this helps the devotees, the sagun form. Because when we come to chapter 12, Bhagwan will say that Bhagwan dono hai, and it depends on your mindset, whether you want to see him as Nirgun or Sagun, and both are okay, but Nirgun is a lot more difficult, So this particular type of form really helps people, easier for us, And so this vision is an instrument for devotion and dispassion. So this, and Sanjay is going to say towards the end of Bhagavad Gita कि वो रूप याद कर करके, he saw it too. Sanjay saw the whole thing and he said कि मैं धन्य हो गया. Again and again he says, to his, but the blind kid doesn't, kind of उसको कुछ असर ही नहीं होता है. But because Shankaracharya ji is like Advait Vedantin, so he said this particular thing is an instrument for devotion and dispassion, not the final gyan and goal, but some people may not agree, which is fine. But anyway, Shankaracharya said that. And Arjun's motive, what is Arjun's motive over here is that he is here as a sincere bhakt, he's requesting, because he wants clarity and he wants to perform his duty without hesitation, So he wants that final kind of thing, जिससे कि वो कर सके काम. And then Madhusudan Saraswati ji, obviously, he is more bhakti. So he's saying that his analysis was that when the Lord can manifest many forms, of course, we saw that even in this universe, is cyclic and it can form so many different forms, but without losing his nature. And that we know. We have studied it so far. His pure nature always remains the same. It doesn't get affected by it. And what is the purpose of this revelation? To establish Arjuna's faith completely. जो इधर उधर का जरा सा doubt रह गया वो भी पूरा निकल जाएगा. And he wants to understand that Bhagwan is inner controller. He is the one who controls everything within, and external, like cosmic power he has, both things. So then once he has 100% established, then he'll be able to act properly. So basically this verse is it says a movement from the theory to experience. अभी तक सब theory चल रहा था. From knowledge to being a witness. Remember in Vedanta we say we are the witness. So this is going to be the witness. And then the grace is a very important thing, God's gift. Because this is a God's gift to the disciple, to show. Because the disciple has a humility and receptivity. He's ready now. So this is what it is. And then the final analysis is that this verse is like an integration of Gyan, Bhakti and Karma. Because Arjuna's request is devotional. So Bhakti aa gayi usme, prompted by knowledge. He got the knowledge, so usme Bhakti jaag gayi. And then his aim is that I want to do the right action. Because Krishna Bhagavan was telling him that action, Karma Yoga is very important for you. You have to continue. So, and that is in Gita, that's what we talk about, right? Bhakti, Gyan and Karma. So that's the complete analysis of this. Any question or comment before we read Swamiji's commentary? No? Everybody satisfied? Don't hesitate if you have any question.
No question, but I just wanted to add, like he also mentioned Krishnji as Yogeshwar. So, the Lord of Yogas. So he was utterly convinced. So that was one of the, compliments he has said in his
yes, very nice
request.
Yes, absolutely, yes. Yep. Good point. Okay, any volunteers to read? I guess I have to pick. Falguni ji, would you like to?
Yeah, I can read. Now, O Supreme God, Lord, as you have thus described yourself in that way, I wish to see actually your divine form, O Purushottama, Supreme Purusha. Indicating by a familiar idiom in Sanskrit, so be it. What is it? Evamita? I don't know exactly how to
Evam etat. Evam etat.
Evam etat. Okay. So be it. Evam etat. Arjuna accepts the technical thesis that has been declared by the Lord. Intellectually, it has been satisfactorily proved that the Lord is immanent in all names and forms. Still, the intellect awaits for the baptism of demonstration. Therefore, Arjuna says, I desire to see thy Ishvara form, He is an Ishvara who in himself expresses omnipotence, infinite wisdom, strength, virtue, detachment, and splendor. These are the 6 qualities that are described in our Shastras as forming the characteristic feature of the God principle.
Okay. So now, as I said, the evam etat is a very loaded thing. So be it. He just summarized it. Ki jo aapne kaha, so be it means I accept everything. No, that's how we have to take this evam etat. So, and then Swamiji explains that he accepts the technical thesis and all that completely. So that's what our journey has to be. If we are having doubts, we won't be able to move forward. Forget about seeing Bhagwan's, Vishwaroop. To qualify for that, all doubts have to be removed. So he's already done that now so far. That's what it is. Because it's still intellectual awaits the baptism of demonstration. Our intellect doesn't get satisfied कि कोई खाली हमको बोल दे ऐसा है नहीं मैं देखना चाहता हूँ, right? So that's exactly his curiosity, just like what we have. And then this word, there are 2 words that we are very used to it. One is Ishwar, वो ऐश्वर्य से आता है, and then Bhagwan. So ये नाम तो हमने सब कुछ सुना है, very interesting. So this जो स्वामी जी ने बोला ना कि he is the Ishvara who has himself expressed omnipotence, infinite wisdom, strength, virtue, splendor, and extreme dispassion, right? So in Vishnu Puran, there is a definition of Bhagavan and Ishwar. The one who has 6 bhagas. Bhaga is like qualities. Infinite 6 qualities. So जैसे बोलते हैं ना ये आदमी धनवान है, right? धन से भरा हुआ है उसको धनवान बोलते हैं. बुद्धि से भरा है उसको बुद्धिवान बोलते हैं. Okay, बुद्धिमान वान से आता है वो. So Bhagavan means it has 6 different, and संस्कृत में उसके 6 नाम हैं. ऐश्वर्य जिसके पास हो, lordship, infinite. Here it's not like अपने को थोड़ा सा ऐश्वर्य मिल जाता है तो लोग इतना नाचने लगते हैं. Not like that. Not little bit. Not something that goes away. Infinite. So remember that, infinity. Aishwarya is number 1. Virya is valor, strength, power, power to protect he has. So that's what Bhagwan has. Yash, glory. When it comes to glory, just go to chapter 10 and you will see Bhagwan's glory. And he will say, मेरी glory तो कभी खत्म ही नहीं होती. हम लोग की glory 2 दिन में खत्म हो जाती है. Infinite glory has Yash. Shri. This word is used all the time, right? Shri means wealth and prosperity. It's a form of Lakshmi because it belongs to Bhagwan, Lakshmi, and that is Shri, is an infinite amount. Gyan, knowledge. And Vairagya, dispassion. All these things he has, but he's not attached to that. Because all these things are cyclic, but he can again and again comes out. So Aishwarya, Virya, Yash, Shri, Gyan, and Vairagya. That's what is 2 words over here mean. Here it's a Ishwar, but also Bhagwan has the same meaning. You can go ahead.
Moji, can you say the 6 ones again? Aishwarya,
yeah, sure. Aishwarya, Virya, Yash.
Virya.
Yeah. Virya is strength. Virta se aaya wo. Shri.
So Aishwarya, Vairya, Shri,
Virya, Yash,
and Vairagya.
Shri, Gyan, and Vairagya.
That's Bhagwan.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the definition of
qualities.
Bhagwan. Yeah.
Okay.
And then Swamiji has said in English over here,
Right, but and then what is the difference between Ishvara and Bhagwan?
It's the same.
Is just with
Yeah, it's just like they have 1001 name of Vishnu Bhagwan.
Okay.
Like
So
that.
it's
So
the
there's
same
two
thing.
different
It's the
names,
same
but
thing.
it's about the same thing. Yeah.
So we are talking about the Purushottam with the 6 qualities.
Yes,
which
you
is
can say
Ishvara and-
Purushottam, you can say Bhagwan, you can say Ishwar. All of them have these 6 qualities.
These 6 qualities. Okay. Got it.
Infinite. Yes.
Infinite. This was the occasion on which Krishna decided to show to Arjuna that the Lord is not only immanent in all forms, but he is also the vehicle or receptacle in which all names and forms have their existence and play. He is also transcendent.
Transcendent, yes. So now this is a little bit tough concept, but I think by now all of you probably got the picture. Like our Darshana Ben used to say, no, that many in one and one in many, right? So one in many we saw in chapter 10. That, okay, that one glory or one, what should I say, essence in the entire universe, to learn that, where how to see Bhagwan in everything. That technique he showed us. And now, because he said, okay, the whole world exists in me. He's mentioned that several times. And then he said, the universe is just a little part of my glory, right? So now Arjun wants to see the entire universe in you. That demonstration he wants. Okay. Did everybody kind of get the picture? Yes. And then I gave that example also. Okay, you know, all the ornaments is in gold, and gold has a potential of all the ornaments. Show me all the ornaments in gold. I guess that it is a kind of a strange request, but his intellect is kind of still bothering him. He wants to see that. अच्छा आपने बोला कि सब कुछ आप में है, कैसे मुझे दिखाओ, like that, you know. That's what he's asking. And then in the technical terms, Lord is eminent in all forms. He's there. He's present in all form. And he's also the vehicle or receptacle in which all names and form have their existence. Like we say that all the ornaments have an existence in gold. All the waves have existence in ocean. All the mud parts have existence in mud. Same way, everything in the universe has an existence, and their play, their whatever they do, hangama, that is in Bhagwan. Huh? So, but he's also transcendental, eminent and transcendental. Nothing gets affected. Sorry, he doesn't get affected. His pure form remains the same, just like the sunlight touches the world but doesn't get contaminated. So both the things. Again and again it comes, but I think once we know the context, it clarifies the meaning more deeply. You know, what does eminent and transcendent, and that's what he's asking for here. Any questions?
Is it similar to where he explained there is a space between beings, you know, you kind of have to remove the space and many becomes one?
Yeah, it is something like that, because if somebody says, okay, all the gold in the world, you know, all the ornaments are in the gold, now मेरे को दिखाओ, तो उसको दिखाने को facilitate करने के लिए सारा gold एक साथ लाना पड़ेगा ना. एक gold का पहाड़ बनाना पड़ेगा, right? So you have to remove that space. So it is like this is what it is actually. Think about this, that you have this small capacity of a bulb, and now you are asking, I want to see all the electricity at once. That bulb will तो फट जाएगा bulb. इसके लिए दिव्य दृष्टि देनी पड़ी उसको, because your comprehension power is not that strong of your intellect that it can grasp, you know. So he's asking for something like that. So Bhagwan has to, like I was telling last time, he custom designed for Arjun. Okay, दिव्य दृष्टि देने के बाद भी थोड़ा limitation था. So उन्होंने अपना खुद का रूप बढ़ा लिया. पहले वो तो बैठे हुए थे अपने रथ के ऊपर, right? He made himself bigger, like Hanumanji makes himself bigger whenever he can. And that in that big, he showed him the whole sample of the universe. And then he also told him, you can see whatever you want to. Agar Falguni ji, if you were there, suppose, instead of Arjuna, you may want to see something else. Arjuna was कि भाई मेरा वॉर होने वाला है, मेरे को आई वांट टू सी कि क्या होने वाला है. आप अपने लाइफ में देखेंगे कि मुझे ये देखना है. हाँ, so it is like a custom design. That's what he's trying to do.
Yeah, it's kind of like an abstract vision, right? Because we all have an image of universe in our mind.
Yes.
You know, because you can't really see it
completely.
But
yes.
What you perceive and what I perceive, that image is like, we can't even compare because it's very abstract. You know, it's going to be very different what you imagine universe to be and what I imagine. But it's in my mind and your mind. You can't really describe or compare the two. Like if I see an app, we see a tree, you and I are going to see the same thing. But if you're looking at an abstract vision, it's going to be totally
more
individual,
than
what you perceive it to be.
I think what you are talking about is that everybody's mind is different and they have a different vision. This is something a little bit deeper. This is like this. You and me can have different vision of different things, true. But if you ask a scientist, at a very core of it, it's all atom and it's all that proton, neutron, whatever, those things are. So at that level, everything becomes one. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So you have to attain that level to be
yes.
able to see
so he's trying to attain that level to go to the absolute essence of everything reality, and understand it. And once you understand the essence, everything becomes like fun and games after that. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to understand Bhagwan and have this darshan at a very core level, so that once you have seen, like, don't they say, if you have seen it all, nothing surprises you anymore in the world. That's where he wants to be. So that's what you have to think about. Yeah.
Though with the enthusiasm of a fanatic believer in intellectualism, Arjun demands a demonstration. He immediately realizes that his audacity has perhaps crossed the frontiers of decency.
Because the next verse, he was like, oh Bhagwan, only if it is possible, only if you think I'm worthy of it. Because usko laga ki, now imagine a small bulb asking, show me the entire force of electricity within me. He was suddenly like, oh my God, what did I ask too much? That's what happened to him. But Bhagwan is so kind, and he felt that yes, Arjun was a right patra, and then he, he's become his real bhakta, and he has to oblige him. Bhagwan can do anything.
Yes.
So he custom designed. So that's what the feeling. So it is so sweet. His suddenly his hesitation. जैसे हमने बोला ना, दुनिया में हम लोग बोलते हैं, कोई बोलता है ये है वो है, अच्छा दिखाओ तो जानू, बोलना तो बहुत आसान है, करके दिखाओ. तो ऐसे करके उसका feeling आ गई. उसको लगा कि भगवान से ज़्यादा तो नहीं मांग लिया मैंने. And so that's what it is going to be, the next one. So, and then there is one connecting line. Right?
He's trying to smoothen out his words in the following words.
Yeah. So बोल तो दिया, अभी थोड़ा और बटर लगाना पड़ेगा भगवान को. So he's gonna do that next time. It was a small verse, so I got finished early. But any question or comment on this?
Mahi, is he asking Krishna? He wants to see Krishna in all or all in Krishna? There's a difference in that. And what's he asking?
Right now he's asking all in Krishna.
All in Krishna.
All in Krishna. Before that he was asking Krishna in all. Before Krishna Bhagwan ne usko dikhaya. Krishna Bhagwan ne bola na ki, he said ki his question in chapter 10 was, how do I see you in this world? Because ठीक है भगवान आप सब जगह, हमने सब जगह सुना है भगवान कण कण में है, ये है वो है, but how do I see you? So then he gave him those examples that anything glorious you see, anything fantastic, anything amazing you see, वो भगवान की glory समझो. Like that he told him. So that you are seeing Krishna in everything. Then Krishna Bhagwan ne bola, end of the chapter, that everything is in me. And this is a small glory of mine. Thoda sa hai mera Aishwarya. He wants to see that practical demonstration. How entire thing is in you. That's what he's asking for.
Thank you.
Any other point, question? Okay, if not, then I'll close Bhagavad Gita here. It's going to be, so we can finish more at 3 than today.
I just have one. Krishnaji, he showed that same thing to Yashoda one time. Remember?
Very minutely, yes.
Minutely,
yes.
Yeah.
I remember I told you that Yashoda saw it, and I think there's one more story which I don't know the details. One of the other rishis has also seen the. उसने भी डिमांड किया था, भगवान ने उसको दिखाया था, बट वो मेरे को याद नहीं है अभी पूरी स्टोरी, इतनी पॉपुलर नहीं है वो स्टोरी. एंड देन जब कृष्ण भगवान दूत बन के गए थे ना, तो दूत बन के गए थे टू to try to avoid the war. उनको भेजा गया था जब war was becoming more eminent. So then they said कि एक बार try करना चाहिए. आजकल भी लोग करते हैं, right? कि before the actual war, okay, try कि भाई try to negotiate, you know, on the table. So they कृष्ण भगवान को भेजा उन्होंने. और दुर्योधन तो दुष्ट है ही. और he did not believe that Krishna Bhagwan was, you know, anything. He thought that ये के बहरूपिया है, ये है, वो है, you know, मैजिक करता है. तो जब वो आए और उन्होंने अपनी बात रखी तो इसको दुर्योधन ने बोला इनको बंदी बना लो. तो जब वो तो तब भगवान ने बोला अच्छा देख तो बंदी बना के मुझे. तो फिर उन्होंने अपना वो रूप दिखा दिया, लेकिन थोड़ा सा दिखाया, उसी में सब भाग गए, you know. लेकिन जिसके पास थोड़ी सी भी दिव्य दृष्टि थी उन्होंने तो देख लिया, लाइक यू नो भीष्म पितामह, द्रोणाचार्य. पर जो दुष्ट लोग हैं उन पे इतना पर्दा पड़ा होता है कि वो भगवान भी सामने आ जाए तो उनको दिखाई नहीं देता. You know, some good thing is there and you tell these people who don't want to listen to you at all.
Right.
तुम बैठ के 20 आर्ग्यूमेंट दे दो, वो बोलेंगे नहीं ये तो है ही नहीं, ये तो है ही नहीं. तो वैसे भी मूर्ख लोग थे वहां पे, तो उनको नहीं दिखाई दिया. बट इट वॉज अ लिटिल ओनली. उनको सिर्फ डराने के लिए, भगाने के लिए उनको किया था कि भाई तुम मुझे बंदी नहीं बना पाओगे, ट्राई भी मत करो, यू नो. सो दैट वाज. एंड बट यहाँ पर क्योंकि अर्जुन उनका भक्त है, उनका फ्रेंड है, एंड इतनी भक्ति जागी अर्जुन में कि जब अर्जुन ने मांगा तो उन्होंने पूरा उसको विश्व रूप दिखाया, लाइक द मोस्ट ग्लोरियस पार्ट ही शोड. एंड दैट्स व्हाट द डिस्क्रिप्शन इज गोइंग टू बी in this chapter. And Sanjay saw that, and then Sanjay says towards the end of the, you know, in 18th chapter, he'll say, मैं वो याद करके बस मैं धन्य हो रहा हूँ, you know. So we will be hearing the description of it. So we have to get ready for it. So that's the excitement in this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any other? Okay. I'll close Bhagavad Gita. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वा सर्वपापेभ्यः मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम.